Hi, it's October 25. I'm in Victoria. Just arrived a couple of days ago from Sydney, where I spent 3 weeks. Gave workshops in Queensland and in New South Wales. And of course, everything being affected by the continuing economic meltdown. And I suppose one of the interesting things about this, watching it in the media, is that there's not a lot to see, and this is a reflection of the intangible quality of money. And while money is a great idea, the idea of money growth is really a little bit of an illusion. We simply can't take our money and plant it into a pot and come back and expect there to be more money, and yet the economic system relies on this concept of money growth. So, where does that money come from? Well, it comes from people converting their time really into money by working and then feeding that money into the economic system, essentially by borrowing money to, have a place to live, the mortgaging system. So this, you know, is where it all started to go wrong. And it's interesting, there's so little talk now of the mortgaging and how it's affected the global economy. That's, you know, I suppose being brushed aside or being ignored, but basically it was the subprime mortgaging crisis in America that precipitated all this, really meltdown. So this is where people are tied into the economic system, and of course this is the tie that needs to be broken for people to free themselves and to start embracing a sustainable way of life. And breaking that tie, I suppose there's two main components of that. The first would be how to start creating houses that are really free of debt. That in physical reality is not all that difficult. The biggest challenges for people are finding the time to devote to the construction process, and also finding the land on which to create their mortgage-free homes. And the Econospace framing, or the Econospace project, really focuses on that. So that's a very practical system, that even if a person's working full-time, they could work on framing up their house, because it's basically a component-based system. You can see videos on the website that detail that. The other aspect of it is the legislative aspect, really changing the nature of the planning laws, because the planning and the economics are basically tied together. So the planning more or less shoves everyone down the same route, which is into the mortgaging, really into the mortgaging system. So people need to understand how the economics, the planning are tied together, and how the mortgaging is such a vital part of of all really economies. And this is what's breaking down, and this is what needs to change now for people that were previously committed to an alternative way of life. None of this is a big surprise. The biggest challenge is for people that have put their faith and belief into the economic system, and now they find themselves holding negative equity to a large extent. So the nearest parallel I can make to it is a person discovering that their partner's been cheating on them, and then how to get out of that type of relationship, how to divorce oneself from the system. That really is a more of an emotional challenge rather than a necessarily a practical one, even though it will outpicture into practical reality. So I'll be dealing with all these issues in forthcoming talks and workshops. On the 22nd of November, I'll be giving a talk called Shelter Making Dreaming in Castlemaine. On Sunday, November the 30th, I'll be doing a one-day workshop in Melbourne called Living Your Architecture, the Greening of Your Dream Home. On December 6th and 7th, which is a weekend, I'll be giving a Econospace framing workshop in Castlemaine, which will be taking people through the hands-on process of creating a frame for a mortgage-free building. And on December 13th and 14th in Aldinga Arts Eco Village, which is near Adelaide, I'll be giving a 2-day live course in sustainable house design and construction. There are details of all of those workshops on the website and booking facilities online. There's phone numbers available where you can ring and book over the phone also. So yeah, thank you for listening, and please stay in touch. Bye.